So, very good evening, good morning, good evening, hello guys, welcome to 73 Innovation, welcome to the new project, to the live streams from Honda Jet. As you probably see, we are situated in the Miami International Airport. I just need to set up the sound setting so it's not too quiet or not too loud. For those of you who doesn't know me, my name is Jerry. I'm a captain on Boeing 737 and I used to be a captain Honda Jet with total time of approximately 6,000 hours and above 600 hours on Honda Jet. And this one is the MG Honda Jet that is available on the marketplace. As well, I think you can buy it on the dedicated website. It's not really super study level airplane, but it's quite nicely done, and I found it really nice to fly that after a while that I haven't been flying a Honda Jet. So most of the systems are nicely done. Only what is really missing on the plane is some emergency procedures or failures or something, and the Garmin is not 100% recreated, but that's not the developer fault, but it is what it is in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Hopefully the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 that is coming shortly should fix the most of the items missing the flight simulators, and Honda Jet, as I heard on the Discord and the other channels, will be coming to MSFS 2024 as well, so we have high hopes for this airplane as well. This one, this particular unit, particular airplane is Sierra Papa Charlie Hotel Echo, the Honda Jet that is based in Warsaw in Poland, but I used to fly this specific one, so I have some good memories about it. And this one is the basic, the first version, the one without the auto throttle or other fancy systems, but I think was the production number 93, serial number 93, and at the moment they have approximately 320 of Honda Jets. So that's quite a nice airplane. I really did enjoy flying it, and we'll do some short hop today down to Key West from Miami. And we actually used to fly around the US with this little Honda, and to fly that down to States from Europe, it took altogether, I think, down to Florida we did 7 stops from back from the Warsaw, back from the home base. In the flight sim, the airplane is nicely done. It has all animated surfaces and doors and everything, which you can open and close in the FMS. So let's close the main door. Actually, we don't need it open anymore. The flight will be approximately 36 minutes, so it's quite a short flight, but I will try to answer your questions along the way. If not, maybe we can do the short hop back to Miami or something, but we'll see that on the way down there. The airplane itself in the flight simulator is nice and easy, just quick startup, and you can just download the flight plan from SimBrief and start the engines and do the flight. So I really enjoy flying that. It's like the real one, in fact, which is nice and easy to fly. It's kind of like flying PlayStation. You have charts, you have SimBrief, so you don't need any additional plugins here. You can do everything down from the FMC level. Okay, so we started up the avionics. Let's see if we do have some ground power connected. In the real one, if I didn't have the ground power, it would just switch off the right side of the screens, but this one doesn't really simulate that either. Enable GPU, yeah. So, external power door open, and you can maybe hear some GPU as well. At least you should hear that. That's the Flight FX1, that's correct, TRN. So, since the ground power is connected, we can take our time to set up the airplane. We are flying in Vatsim. I see there is no one, so let's go to Unicam at least, and 1215 on the second set. 12.5. And let's go from very beginning. Aircraft systems, utilities, checklist, check. So, initialization, system tests, and she will perform all the tests herself. You don't need to really interfere with that or do any tests manually. Okay, all done. Test completed. Let's go back. Weight, fire and balance. So we do have basic empty weight of 7,200 pounds, which is quite a light airplane. It has maximum takeoff weight about 10,000 pounds, so we can carry roughly 3,000 pounds. It's not too much, but it's a nice little airplane. We don't have any passengers today. It's gonna be only crew. So crew stores. Let's go approximately 220 pounds. Should work for one pilot. Payload, take a few on board, synchronize. 142 gallons, and we have 950 pounds. That should not be enough to for the flight, so let's get a quick refuel. Is it back? Yeah, it's 3,120 now. Nice. Sync 466. And for landing, we don't know that yet, so we can just hit sync all from sim. It should do as well. The last one, speedbacks, all on. Get from sim. The real Honda Jet will have performance section that will let you insert the winds and temperature and the pressure, and this one has only this little page, but it's usually quite enough to do that. And that's initialization is completed. We can just accept that. PFD settings, since we are in the US, we're gonna need altitude units in inches and the QNH in Miami, or pressure in Miami is 2982 inches. Good. Wind, I would like to have option 1. There is no wind since we are stationary, and she cannot sense the wind unless the airplane is moving. Bearing, I want to have nav 1 or nav 2 on the second one, and altitude units we already done that. All the PFD settings, nope. Altitude other way, overlays. Yes, we would like to have synthetic vision on, and horizon heading, which is this little lines on the horizon. As you see, that one, this and this and this. If I switch it off, the headings will be off. It's I usually used to switch it on. It's quite useful. Good. Flight plan, you can type it manually, go to add origin, etc, etc, and copy it from the sim brief, or so I have sim brief panel. I can fetch my flight plan and put it manually, but the nice and quick way here is just to hit the sim brief panel and get request. which will automatically import, and then you click import and the flight plan is just there. If you want to cross-check that, you can always open the SimBrief panel or your PDF and check if the routing is correct. It's quite a short flight plan. It has only the departure and one waypoint along, so that's not really complicated. Here I could do it manually as well. Minor 2, then direct to Kusel, and then direct to Key West Airport. So we're gonna be departing from runway 08 left, which is just over here. Nice and short taxi, and we'll be landing 09. So let's get some procedures into the FMC. Filtered by runway. I would like to have 08 left, and we go from minor 1. Transition will be minor. We load that, and since the flight is quite short, I would like to load some approach into the FMS. There's only RNF approach to Key West, and we probably start from vector, so maybe stink, we'll see. We can go to here. Take a look on the chart in Key West. Where we are? Lima, okay. Key West. Kilo Echo Juliet Whiskey. Enter that, and the approach will start from the point strap. I think the strap should work for us. And I will load that. If I hit load and activate, it will set direct to strap and just mess up whole flight plan. So we don't want to be doing that. Let's go to checklists. Before after I do the checklist, I will answer the questions if you have any. But before we do that, battery is on. Obviously, oxygen is checked on the normal. The oxygen is here, it should be pushed in. Precision is normal, electric panel okay, normal. ELT is normal, nose wheel steering normal. If something is not normal, it will basically be showing the amber light on the associated button, so everything is just basically blank. Landing gear is down, alternative gear release handle is stop, parking brake is set, flaps are up, thrust levers cut off. Speed brake retracted, ice protection is normal, and all fuel panels set, trim panel set, windshield panel normal. Pneumatic panel is normal, glare sheet panel, it's dark. And chime normal and dark. Avionics initialization is completed. Next is starting engines, so I will jump in, quickly check the map if there is anybody on the Vatsim here. There are some approaches, but there is unfortunately no ATC today. Maybe somebody will come up, we'll see. Short hop today, yes, that short hop, 2 minutes delay, 2 minutes is not delay. Cloud Action is asking if there are many Honda Jet owners who are flying Honda Jet themselves actually, and yes, the Honda Jet is meant to be, at least from the marketing side, it was meant to be a plane for the pilots who are transiting from twin engine piston, and they're going to first jet. So yes, in the US there are some pilots flying themselves. In Europe I see that mostly they're trying to use it as a commercial airplane to fly it commercially, but it's not stated that nobody is actually flying themselves. The owner is not flying the Honda Jet. Thank you very much, Gagagugu. Thank you very much. You have very nice nickname here. absolutely impossible to read that. But thanks. Passenger briefing complete. Rudder pedals are set. Seat belts adjusted, secure. Doors are closed, and we can check that on the status page, which will be aircraft system status. And you can see the all doors are closed except the external power, but it will be disconnected after we start the engines. Parking brake set, gas messages all reviewed, oil pressure low and fuel pressure low, otherwise nothing very special. We should mostly consider the red alerts, sometimes ambers. The white ones are information only, and they will extinguish most likely after we start up the engines. Elect volts 23.5 volts minimum. We do have ground power, so we should have at least 29 volts. Since the ground power is on, if I switch off the ground power, it will fall back to 24 and slowly decrease over time. Basically, without the ground power, the avionics are using, I would say, half a volt every maybe 20-30 minutes, so you should be maybe not quick, but we should not stall with the engines off and avionics on. But for now we'll switch it on. Elect volts are check and engine start, press. Before I start the engines, before I start using the fuel, I will quickly jump back to charts and see what should I brief. So taxi will be via Kilo 1. I will use full distance, but it's 2,600 meters. I believe that Zulu would be more than enough for this airplane. And the departure will be probably the Vector's departure, as most of the departures in the US. Mine are 2 departure. It's not Vectors, come on. Or maybe I have the wrong departure in here. Mine are 1. Oh yeah, it's 1. And here is minor 2 via minor. Why is it different? Probably, as always, I haven't updated the database again, but let's check it, cross-check it with flight plans. Of course, because that's which one? Minor 1. And this minor 2. That should work. We'll see. So first of all, we're gonna maintain runway heading of 092. Let's set it in. And the routing will be heading 092, intercept Baller, Mike Yankee, November Tango, next room, Osti, and Minor. So that's pretty much the same. And for the altitude, the initial climb will be 5,000 feet, and I will set up the 5,000 feet here. And that's all set. Flight directors will be on. I would like to have Toga and Nav, so let's go with Toga. Takeoff, and for the lateral I would like to have FMS. That should bring me nicely along the departure route. This will be needed, and since we already did all the checklist, the doors are closed. Just a last quick look if there is no one on the ATC here. Unfortunately nobody, but yeah, I see the guy in Cuba is active, so maybe once we land in Havana we can just do a legal short hop to Havana. So once we are closed, we can start engine number 2. Nice and easy, press the button, move the lever to idle, and FADEC, full authority digital engine control, will do all the procedure itself. You don't need to do anything, just observe if it's not doing anything bad, but usually it doesn't do any malfunctions, except if you have the voltage that is low, it might stop the start process, interrupt the start process, and it can cut off. Good. One is running. I don't know why my throttles were not idle, but engine number 2 is running. Starting engine number 1. As you probably notice, I don't do anything with the lights. The lights are automatic on Honda Jet. I don't do anything with fuel pumps or nothing else. So that's the reason I'm saying it's like a PlayStation. You just press the button and it's the same like in the real life. You press the button and you go. You don't need to worry about the generator and stuff. Once the engine has started, it's showing idle. You go with flaps takeoff. You check the speed brake. Should go. Speed brake extended. Speed brake retracted. Check the flight controls. Forward, back, left and right, and the rudder is left, center, right, center, and basically at this moment we are ready to go to read the checklist. Just adjust the pitch trim to 4. Good. So, very well. Once everything is started, we can jump back to checklist and read it through again. So previous checklist was before taxi. Starting engines first. Let's finish all of them, as we would do. Engine start, press engine instrument check. Until it's not required except about disconnect. That's a good one. It's disconnected. It has disconnected itself once I start the engines. Flight controls 3 correct. That's done. Wing anti-gas is not required. Transponder code is 2000. Assets IFR flight. Flight ID confirmed. Flight plan third. Navigation source is set. And altimeter set 2982. Flaps set for takeoff. Left speed brake check retracted. Cabin signs not required. Park and release. Next will be taxi checklist. So we're gonna do that on taxi. And since we're gonna do the checklist on taxi, I'd like to have at least chart here. No charts available. Why not? Oh yeah. I would like to have a chart. And nice feature was that you had a taxi as well here. If you zoom in enough, you had the taxiways as well on this side. So on the right side, before we go, I'd like to have the map. Now the pitch trim values are not set automatically, but you have to set them yourselves usually. If you do flaps up takeoff, you set flaps up, then you go pitch trim 3 units, and if you go with flaps takeoff, you have to set pitch trim around 4 units. But the real life performance calculator is gonna give it to you. This one unfortunately will not. So once we release the brakes, the taxi lights will come on automatically. And we can start rolling towards the runway 0908 left. CT90, you're getting config warning on takeoff. I'm just wondering why. If you set up everything correctly, you should not get any takeoff config warnings, but we'll see. I saw some bug that causes the Honda Jet giving you takeoff config warning saying engine vibration high. If you advance the throttles too quickly, then it might go and give you some warning, but if you do it nice and smoothly, slowly, it should not. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for coming today. Thank you for joining me. It's a pleasure to have you on board. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a like below, and hopefully you will, if you like it, we may do some more streams, mainly from Honda Jet or a 737. So now we go first right, and we're gonna go all the way down to Kilo 1 at the end of the runway. And the taxiing of Honda Jet is quite, maybe not aggressive, but she is very touchy on the pedals. She has some kind of steer-by-wire, which makes Honda Jet going left and right very rapidly, but you can get used to that. And especially if you increase the speed for the same deflection of the pedal, you get smaller deflection of the nose wheel, which makes things a little bit more difficult, especially during takeoff roll or landing roll, when the forces are changing and the logic of the nose wheel is changing, but it's all a matter of getting used to. Okay, since we're taxiing and we are rolling slowly, you can do the checklist. Taxi checklist: brakes. Check the brakes, checked. Passenger... not this pane. Nose wheel steering checked, flight instruments are checked. So yeah, we obviously check the nose wheel steering and flight instruments. We see the gyro compass is moving and the speed is increasing if needed. Next, before takeoff checklist: flaps are set for takeoff, trims are set for takeoff, speed brake is retracted. The real one, if you add throttle above approximately 60%, it would retract the speed brake, but this one doesn't have this function, so you have to be careful not to take off with speed brake extended. At low altitudes, it's a very powerful airplane, so it would go with the speed brake extended anyway. CAS messages: review navigation. I have FMS and takeoff, and it's set. Flight guidance is set. Told data: speeds 110, 115, 120 and 140. I'm using 140 here. Takeoff briefing completed. Radar not required. As protection not required. Next is after takeoff checklist. So I need a map here, and I go with full. Adjust some scale. So what the hell is that? I see some routing. I have this FS realistic thing that it might give some different sounds and warnings, like head movement, sneezing, etc, etc. That's runway 8 left. I'm gonna stop here. Transponder would go automatically to mode C, but we will switch on manually to mode C just to see if there is no one coming down here. But I see there is no traffic. Hopefully there is no traffic. I'm showing standby. Should be on. Maybe let's go to auto in this case. Yeah, seems there is no one. And just to double check on the Vatsim map, I think there is neither. There's somebody approaching, but the guy is at 4,000 feet, so still has some time. Good. No one there, no one here. Miami traffic, Jedi 4 to tail lining up and taking off runway 08 left. very hard to start rolling. The real one basically rolls even if it's idle, and to release the brakes, and this one needs quite a lot of thrust, but it's not a big issue. I don't want to line up like a 737 again. On the other side of center line, there's a 747 from Atlas Air. And the guy's lining up as well, but he doesn't go on Vatsim. So slowly we go to full thrust, and I do not have any warnings, as you see. Let's go back to center line. Airspeed alive. 80 knots. P1. Oi, oi, oi. That's me. Rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Maintain 140. Set the MCT, and once we are above 140 knots we can retract the flaps, and we follow flight directives. I can hit the autopilot on, go to the flight level change, speed 180. Flaps retracted, max continuous chassis set, and we are flying. I don't know why it's so aggressive on the ground, and so I couldn't maintain the center line. I was trying to be very delicate, but it didn't really work, as you saw. Flight level we're expecting is 220, so once we are airborne we go to 220. Let's go speed to 10. That's a good speed to climb on this airplane, 210 knots. And she is going to follow the flight plan route all the way down to Key West Airport, and it's a nice flight. It's actually quite scenic, so we'll be flying along the Florida Keys. The first one, the Florida Keys are starting somewhere around here. Let's raise the scale. So if you drive there, you're gonna go enter the keys here and go to KEYW, and then all the keys all along to the end, and then you go to Key West at the very end of the peninsula. Good. After take a checklist, we can hit and do that. Checklist, have to take a checklist, landing gears up, yield trace engaged, flaps are up, thrust levers are MCT, flight radius is required, ice protection not required, cabin size are off since we are only ones on board. Next climb station is climbing, cabin pressure is rising, and altimeters will be set to standard at the transition of 18,000 feet. because it's Sunday and they have some events in Cuba. Why there was sound of toilet flushing? We have toilet, but we don't have anybody on board. I need to go and check all this FS realistic stuff. Good, and once we're climbing, you can see that we have some wind here. Once we are airborne, sometimes it can as well show you the speed when you're on ground, but you have to be moving at some certain speed. All the PFD settings, I would like to have option 3, that's my favorite one. Let's open up the charts and let's set up Key West. That's a short flight, so we don't have really much time to spare here. Key West International. We're gonna be landing at runway 09. And the only approach we have is the RNP, so we don't do any nav setting here. We have NDB alpha, but we don't have NDB on that plane. Maybe we do have, but probably not. I don't think there was many Hondas that actually had the ADF. Oh, this one has. We can try to set it up just to see if it works or not. Fishhook 332, and the VOR Key West is 113.5. So let's go with the VOR on the nav radio on the DME and 113.5, which is active. We'll need to set it on a second set as well. It's actually showing something already. I don't need to hear that. So let's switch off that. Read back here, and the ADF will be 332 Fishhook. 3303320. Cross transfer to active. Good. PFD settings. Bearing 1 is nav1, and I want to have nav1 and ADF1. Or is the ADF2, which I set it up. It should be ADF1, but it doesn't show anything, and yeah. Transition level, standard set, and standard set, and we're going to maintain flight level 220, and we're still over the continental part. As you see, there is one bridge which is going to get you on the eastern side of the Keys, and the main bridge in the highway is here, and it's going straight to KEYW. They have some kind of crocodile reserve or something, a refuge. And the second bridge is the main one if you're going to Keys, and then you follow all the way along down to Key West, which is at the very end. 1000 to level. Let's go to vertical speed. 1000, and we reduce the thrust a little so we don't go 250. It's a short flight, I don't want to rush it. And so the drive along the Keys, it's really nice. Takes about 2 hours if you're going slowly along the bridges and all the crossings. The only disappointing thing is that you see some scenic pictures and videos from Instagram and YouTube, and most of these bridges are basically covered on both sides, so unless you're driving some massive SUV or something, you won't see water at all unless you stop. good, altitude captured. And since we don't have the auto throttle, I have to do it manually, reduce the thrust. And I can engage the CSC, so that's cruise speed control, which will maintain the speed, and it would show up here as well. It doesn't on this one, but it would show up. It's a great route. It's a great route. Good evening, good morning, everyone. Thank you. It's a really great route. It's nice, and if you have like 1 day, 2 days to spare in Florida, you can go all the way down here. Okay, let's take a look on the FMS, what we are doing now. What we are doing, we need to do the checklist. So basically the checklist, the cruise checklist, doesn't bring you anywhere except altimeter set, systems monitor. Next is descent checklist, landing field elevation was set at 52 feet. Engine tyres not required, altimeter is at transition altitude set. Just need to check the meter. I don't have any nice plugin for meters in here, but I will just use my browser Key West meter. Good. At the moment we have the altimeter 2985, which we are going to pre-select. I think this one doesn't let me pre-select. No, it does not. So I'm just gonna set it on standby 2985. There is no wind, almost. It's 8 knots from 010, so 09 should work. And it's 26 degrees centigrade, which will be high 70s in American system. So altimeter is set, and that's basically all the preparation you're doing before the descent in Honda Jet. The last one, you can go to the FMS and go to fly plan, VNAV, descent. The usual descent speed will be speed 250 knots or 07 Mach. And that's not idle descent, but rather it's 3-degree glide path, so it's quite a short flight, and the descent will be longer than entire flight itself. And we'll start descending just before this point Kukel or Gusel. I'm not good in reading the waypoints, but yeah, we should be there. It's 40 miles, so top of descent will be about 30 miles, 30 miles from now. If you guys have any questions about the Honda Jet, about the flying or something, just let me know. As my Polish viewers know, I'm trying to respond to all comments and all chats. As you know, it's quite an interesting airplane. Maybe not really known. Not really popular yet, but it's nice. It's a very nice plane. So therefore, if you have any questions, I will try to explain to you. I was even thinking to do some short tutorial, maybe 4 or 5 episodes about Honda Jet. Lazanaria. Hey man, I've seen your videos and they're amazing. Thank you very much. I would like to be a pilot on the 737 in the future. Have you got any specific tips? That's depending where are you, and oh, I see the chat here. Can you see the chat on the screen? If I can ask you a question, guys. So if you want tips about 737, depending of course what stage you are at the moment, There are many airlines that are starting to hire now across the world, so it's a good time. It's definitely quite a good time to start a license. So hopefully, if you have a license or you are planning to license, you may get a job quite easily nowadays. And at least in Europe and the US as well, there are still maybe not a pilot shortage, but there is not so many pilots in the market. Neil UK, I work at the Heathrow, and Sierra Papa Charlie Hotel Echo is the only Honda Jet to visit the Heathrow. Yeah, I think so. We've been to Heathrow once, and the guy, the passenger, was really into flying to Heathrow. Despite that, the charge for landing was ridiculous, like 15,000 quid or something. And the guy still wanted to go to Heathrow, so that was my only time I went to Heathrow with Honda Jet. But it was back in 2000, I think, 20 or 21. And usually, yes, we fly to Farnborough, and I think I've been to Luton once. You can see a chat on the screen. That's interesting because I cannot see in my Streamlabs. So I see there should be a widget saying chat box YouTube, but I cannot see it, so that's quite interesting. I will leave it on for today and watch it back later on, unless you want to give me opinion if it's nice or not. So we are almost halfway down to Florida Keys, and that is, I'm not sure which one of those one is the specific one, but the longest bridge on the route is the 7 Mile Bridge. It's somewhere west of the Marathon, the city of Marathon. I think it's that one, might be at least. Let's get back to flight. It's getting really loud here. So that's the longest bridge you can see, and oh yeah, that's way better. The thing with them is that they are really covered, so you cannot see the sea itself. Maybe it's not the longest one, but yeah, they're pretty neat. There's one airfield. You can do sky jumping here. Oh, maybe this one is the 7 Mile Bridge. Let's go to the VFR map. You should have the chat somewhere on the left top. So let's get the VFR map here. That's Marathon. So the longest bridge will be after passing Marathon. It's here. And it's basically a bridge on the motorway, so that's the part of the Instagram and TikToks and everything you're gonna see about the Key West. If you type in Key West bridges, you get 90% of the pictures from around this area, so this is the longest one. Good. Almost there, nearly there. If we land and the ATC in Havana will be still active, we might go to Havana if we want to. I'm doing my first flight next Saturday where I get to control it. It's interesting if Scotland that I'm flying PA-38, looking forward to it. PA-38 is a nice plane. All just got stuck here. Basically all Pipers are really nice planes. I did enjoy flying Pipers. Tomahawk, it's P-30, it's Tomahawk, I think. They're nice. Tomahawk is a little bit tricky, especially on low speeds, but I'm sure I'm gonna be fine with that.
Vertical track.
Vertical track is meaning that we are approaching the top of descent in 1 minute. Love your channel, Sentry Sen, happy flying. Thank you very much, MS. What aviation travel? Hi dear friends from Russia. Welcome to my little channel. Thank you very much. Honda, good plane. Yeah, it's a nice plane. Enjoyable, at least. So, let's pre-select some lower altitude here. Let's go with, start with 12,000. I believe I'm gonna pre-select the VNAV. The track is almost there. I have to be ready to reduce the thrust. If I leave it like 66% or something, it will go into the other speed within minutes. There's some traffic here. Just wonder if I can see him on the radar. He should be there. That's American A330, A320. Just passed my right side. Yeah, he's just there. I can actually see him. Yeah, he's gone. So the VNAV speed we are selected at 250. So let's pre-select 250 and go 250. The altitude we're gonna start our approach to Key West is going to be we'll start from anything about 1500. Yeah, it's obviously over the sea. So 1500 should work for this case. Make a 1500 and she will descend by herself all the way down to Key West. Actually, never did the non-precision approach on that one, so we'll give it a try. The nice thing on Honda is that if you are doing precision approach, non-precision approach, any kind of approach, you just hit the approach button and the airplane will land itself. Yeah, somebody was talking something, but he was too far to be heard. So I technically could hit the approach button here and it would go glide path, and FMS would be FMS in standby and glide path in standby. What is the typical screen layout you prefer to fly with? So basically, I usually would fly with a map on the left side and this active flight plan, which was saying the distance and the times, and on the center screen I would go with map on the full screen. Even with Flu-2 pilots we almost never split the panes, so we had one single big pane here, and the right pane is obviously the thing that the pilot on the right seat would select for himself, or if he was pilot flying he would select this one as well. So that's the main setting, and during approach I would go with charts here. Sometimes I have the VSD here, so if I needed VSD because the vertical path was very complicated, I would go on the chart on this side. In fact, I have to pre-select something so I know what to do after landing. And after landing we can vacate to the right via Alpha 3 and taxi to GA ramp, which is just in front of the tower. So nice and short taxi, 1500 meters, and we'll see if I'm gonna be able to maintain the center line at this approach. This should work as well. So maybe leave it, I'm gonna leave it with this setup, so map here, or chart here, and the map on this side. Have I done the checklist? Yes, I did the checklist, but I want to have a checklist here. Checklist, approach, seat seatbelt secure. And the bar 2985, 2985, set 3 times. Passenger briefing complete, cabin signs on, avionics are set, and landing gear test set confirmed. So we need to set our speed bags as well, all on to get hit from sim. The usual approach speed would be around 110, maximum 115. VREF, and approach speed would be plus 5 knots of that. Checklists, landing gear set, gas messages, nothing, approach briefing completed, and flaps are next. So that's done, we can go full. In fact, since we're single pilot operation today, I will open up the checklist on the right side. Next will be approach is completed. Next will be P4 landing checklist. Good. What if there is a need to track the weather radar? So basically the Honda Jet will show you the weather on this screen on the map as well. You can use the weather on the weather chart, which doesn't look like that, because this one looks like the regular map, but on Honda Jet it looks more like traffic page, so it's more like this. So you can see the weather here, but it will display on the weather on the map as well. Why don't you use the auto thrust for manage speed? So basically I'm not using the manage the auto thrust because I'm flying the version that has no auto thrust. That's the first airplane they produced, one of their first airplanes with the first version. The auto throttle is available in the new products and the new units, which to be honest I never flew Honda Jet with the auto thrust. And you know, I'm flying the plane now with the auto throttle back at work, or actually auto thrust. So I'm flying the plane with auto throttle, so I have some kind of need to fly manually here. But Cloud Action gave you a really correct answer, in fact. And this unit, Sierra Papa Charlie Hotel Echo, it is actually the one that I was flying, and I was helping to develop some, so the developer has put even this little sticker Chopin edition that we had on the real one. So I feel quite happy that this was taken with my own personal phone. So approaching Key West, there is a military airport here, and there's a Key West. The island itself is not that big, there's not much to do here either. Some beaches on the south side, Ernest Hemingway House, and there is the southernmost place in States. It's just like a little monument which is 1.5 meter rock, and that's it. But it's quite nice and charming. You are welcome. So the landing is coming up. We are already here on the chart. You can see us on the chart. That's very useful function on Honda Jet and or any other jet, that you can see the plane position on the chart. It's very good for situational awareness. We passed 10,000 feet when landing lights are turned on. So on Honda they should turn on automatically at around 15,000. This one is going with the landing lights only once you go the gear down. And if you want to continue, let me know. If this guy, the ATC in Havana, is still active. I see the guys there. If you want, you can do the quick jump down to Havana. I don't think I have any specific center there, but there is approach and there is center. So why not? Why not? It should be about 30 minutes flight. Okay, let's start reducing speed. So your speed 200. If you're interested, let me know if you want to go or not. And appreciate your participation today. Cloud Action asking, so the real one can show data from the weather radar on the map, not only an extra data like the Honda Jet from the sim. No, it can show you everything, including the weather radar, sat nav, sat weather, and the Connext weather, which is not depicted in here, I think. Yeah, Connext settings. So it would show you the same data on the map screen. Basically, you had this screen here, and you could choose terrain or weather radar, which is blank here. You cannot select it, but it's there. It can be selected in the real one. I would usually go on final, set speed to 180. Once the speed is less than 200 knots, I will go flaps takeoff approach. Heading, landing heading would be 093. So runway heading 093 set. I will select approach, which will go to FMS and glide path, and we are basically established. We can set the missed approach altitude of 3,000 feet. So let's go set it up to 3,000 feet. So runway heading set, 3,000 feet set, flaps takeoff approach. I go flaps takeoff approach at speed 180, maximum speed for flaps is 200 knots. Then I set 140 knots. There's not really any statement about that from Honda, so I go 140 on flaps take approach, and she can easily maintain that speed on these flaps. Once the speed is below 160, take your gear down. Landing flaps and set approach speed at 116. This airplane, as some of you know, it's nicely modeled, and the flight model is very nice, so it's really realistic. It gives you a really realistic feeling about flying. Before landing checklist, landing gears down, speed brake retracted. Flaps landing, airspeed AS VREF, and on the autopilot diameter to go. Landing checklist completed. Runway side. QS traffic Jet HA420 on final runway 09. I'm watching it from outside and the speed is just falling down. So there's a port with a big cruise ships, some weather station and the southernmost point, which is just on this side. And I think it's about 60 miles to Cuba, which we can do that, why not?
Autopilot.
Autopilot off, helicopter off, landing checklist completed. Checked. It's quite nervous here, huh? And Honda is very sensitive to crosswinds. It has really large side area, so any kind of crosswind is causing a lot of movement around. Maybe it's even oversensitive here, but it feels quite realistic.
$400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 5.
It's a long landing, right? Touchdown. And manually braking, we have to remember that. And that's it. Welcome to Key West. There is no APU, there's nothing to do after landing. So we're vacating to the right. Let's give ourselves a map here. So that's the commercial ramp. It's not too busy. I think I can go to the main ramp as well. They usually would just send you over to general elevation with these small jets, but why not? Okay, flaps up, speed brake rejected, and that's it. It's all cleaned up. It's quite turbulent. It's I think it's even too turbulent. This FS realistic stuff, it's giving you too much turbulence. Welcome to the Conch Republic. I will pass this fire brigade and just stop on this parking gate. Shut down engine number 2. We don't need the second engine. It's nice and easy on 1. It's full of equipment and stuff. I don't want to hit anything, so maybe we can cut the corner a little. Fuel pressure low. I'm just wondering why it's saying low fuel pressure on the left side if the right engine is not running. It shouldn't do so. That's far away. I thought it's closer. At least it seemed closer to me. Okay, let's go here. Small and nimble airplane, so we can park basically, or get through some narrow spaces as well, but I don't want to damage it. Good. The parking brake is set, and what we can do is shut down the engine number 1. And there is nothing to do, absolutely nothing to do, everything is automatic, we don't need to switch off anything. I just give it some ground power, which is enabled already. And cabin power off. Okay, good. And we do quick checklists. Thrust lever, idle brake, speed brake, retracted, that's landing. Cabin signs required, anti-ice off, speed brake trajectory, flaps up, trim set. In the green band. And then parking brake is set, wheel chocks not required, engine anti-ice off, external power connected, thrust lever is cut off, cabin signs off. Oxygen should be off, but we're still flying somewhere. Parking brake released once the chocks are in, and battery is off, so I'm not shutting it down. Guys, tell me, do you want to go to Havana? It should take about 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. Just quick jump down to Havana. If I manage to find my sim brief. Yeah, it's here. Let's go edit flight. Just wondering if it would be legal to go from States to Havana, which is Muja. Maybe yes, I don't know. Generate flight. And the flight would be 36 minutes. Again, 36 minutes. Yeah, why not? Let's do that. How much fuel I need? 1,400, and I do have 2,500. Just a quick setting, which will be ATC flight plan. And I would like to file that into the Vatsim. Nope. Flight plan, where is it going to Vatsim? Pre-file on Vatsim, yeah, it's here. Let's import and process, good. Found an existing flight plan, would you like to use? Yes. And it's going to QS to Mocha flight plan, file flight plan. Enjoy your flight, great. Water vision travel high, hi, how you doing? So once we're done, we won't even open the door. Okay, we can do that, and after landing I would go and obviously do some walk around, which it's not very complicated, it's not a big plane, but since you don't have mechanics and anyone else, you have to do it yourself. Sometimes you're gonna need to refill the oil or disconnect batteries or something. It's nicely done, the textures are nicely done here. The only thing I found missing in this plane in the simulator from the texture point of view is this fuel panel here. It has this little fuel quantity display, and this one has a button which is coming from the newer version, but it doesn't have the display itself. Good, let's jump back and let's go sim brief. We have new flight plan here. Import. It's not really complicated, right? From Key West, departure. We don't have any departures here. Only 09er. Okay, we go straight ahead. And in Muka, in Havana, we're gonna have need to fetch the new flight plan. Is it the new one? Yeah. We expecting arrival to the runway. Where the hell is the runway here? 06. LS 06 via I don't know what, so I would like to reset all checklists. And let's go to charts, Muha, Mike Uniform, Hotel Alpha, Vatsim RT, LS06. From the north will be Hotel Alpha 410 per most likely. And I'm gonna load it again. One thing I haven't set was minimums in the previous approach, so maybe this one will be 420 as on the chart. Nicely matches the airplane name. Oh yeah. Now it's useful, thank you very much. Load approach. Good. So we're all set. I would like to reset the flight directives since they're not showing anything useful. I can go to Toga. And nav, but we are not on flight plan, so we go to heading. And heading is 093. Initially we'll climb to... I would go straight ahead to 320. It's quite a high flight plan. Let's go 320. Maybe we can reach 320 even before reaching Havana. Which is set, and then we can go and read through the checklist. Before I start the engines, I will have to go for a very short break. Battery on, oxygen test precision, normal, electrical set, ELT set, nose steering normal, landing gear is down. Haven't checked anything, haven't switched anything from that. Parking brake set, flaps are up, thrust levers are cut off. Speed brake ratchet, ice protection off, fuel panel is set, trim panel set, windshield panel set. Pneumatic glare sheet panel is dark. Chime is all tested, avionics initialization. I should be almost done, except weight, balance and fuel, which we have to do again, so we'll reset pre-flight. Good. This is done. This is going to this screen, just a quick cleanup for me. Weight, balance, fuel. Why doesn't want to open here? Maybe it will open on this side. Bravo. Crew 220. Again, we don't have any passengers. Fuel sink. 2,500 pounds, it should be okay. and we can bike speed backs, get from sim all on, and we are pretty much finished. Checklists, checklist, let's continue. Checklist set, passenger briefing completed, apparat repairs set, seatbelts adjusted, doors closed. I suppose we would like to close the door rather than fly with the door open. It's not a Boeing. Park brake is set. Gas messages all reviewed to like volts 23.5 with 29. And let's start the engines. Before we do that, I would like to invite you for a short 3-minute break, and then we can continue our flight to Havana. Hopefully the guy on the ATC will not disappear before we go. Good. So we are fully ready now. Just wonder if this guy is static element or he is in Vatsim or not. I think it's somebody in Vatsim. Yeah. And if you'd like to join me, you're more than welcome. There's somebody close to us. Close to threshold, and that's United Airlines, which came from Chicago. And there is somebody on the threshold. It looks like he's on takeoff now. Yeah, that's a Learjet. And he's off, so we can go back to flight deck. And we're ready to start up the engines again. Starting 2. In the real one, you can try to start both on the one time, but it will not work. And this one, you can easily start both of them. But once the green halo is off, you can start engine number 1. So as you see, it takes maybe 30 seconds to start both engines. Cabin power off, and external power has disconnected. Good. So flaps going to take approach, speed brake check, extended, retracted, and again flight controls forward, back, left, right, and rudders left, center, right, center. Basically the yoke would be hanging like that. It's not centered, since it doesn't have any hydraulic panel, it's all mechanical. It would be hanging like that, and once you start to take off roll, it would slowly come back to neutral position. But I think it's the flight simulator thing. I cannot really do that or recreate that. And just start a instrument check, engine anti-air is not required, SEPA disconnected, flight controls are free correct. Next, before taxi, wing anti-air is not required, transport entered, flight ID is set. Navigation source is set to FMS, altimeters are set, flaps are set for takeoff. Trims are set, speed brake check retracted, cabin size off, parking brake released, and we can start taxiing. And we will go Chart selection. We'll go via Bravo 7, Bravo 1, all full distance Alpha 1 runway 09er. So let's release the parking brake. Hope everyone is off. I will turn back here, go to Bravo and taxi all the way back. Let's go. Before our ATC guy will disconnect. It's a nice plane, the 737-800 United. I think it's the biggest that can actually operate Key West. It's 1500 meters runway, which is about 4,000 something feet. Roughly 5,000 feet. That's actually written 5,076. So that's let's say bare minimum for 737 with average payload. So I would say full passengers with not too many bags or not too many fuel, not too much fuel. Okay, next is taxi checklist, brakes checked, nose steering checked. Flight instruments are checked before takeoff, flaps are set for takeoff, trim set for takeoff. Speed brake retracted, CAS messages reviewed. Flight guidance is set, we're gonna go heading and takeoff initially. Told data, so the speeds 107, 1319, 200 set. Take brake completed, radar not required, ice protection is not required, that's before takeoff completed. The only thing I would like to have here is speed 140, that's my initial target. Just wonder what this tug is doing, he's going somewhere. And that's the other one, that doesn't really know what he's doing probably. If you had to choose a plane yourself, would it be a Honda Jet or maybe some turboprop? I think I would go with some little jet if I could choose in the same amount of money. Honda Jet is way quieter than any turboprop. Of course the business jets are more they definitely louder than any airliner inside. The only downside of the Honda Jet is the range. If you take 3 passengers, you can fly roughly for like 2 hours, 2.5 with some reserve, so it's not much. Okay, good, there's nobody on approach, I can see that. Key West traffic, Jedi 4 tail lining up, 09 taking off, departure to the south. Clear on the left. Nice and sunny day, or actually late afternoon already. So this departure I will try not to go left and right like crazy, try to keep the center line. Oh yeah, let's stop in the middle of the runway, why not? I'd like to do the static takeoff, so I stop and then add the thrust and then release the brakes. Honda is calculating every takeoff as a static one, so thrust set, release the brakes and go. We should not do rolling takeoff technically with Honda Jet. Of course everybody does it, airspeed alive. 80 knots. Yeah, it's just too aggressive on the rudders. V1. rotate. Positive rate, we're up. Speed 140, max continuous thrust. Let's gain some speed. 140, flaps up. Okay, autopilot engaged. Flight level change. And the tax rate 180 initially. And once we are established, we can go direct to Canoa, activate. And the routing is okay, so back to nav, FMS, speed 210. Maybe let's give it direct once again, so she doesn't fly left and right and all this stuff. And after takeoff checklist, landing gear is up. Yield dampener is engaged. It's not engaged. It should engage automatically once you switch on the autopilot. Flaps are up. Thrust lever same steady. Flight guidance is set. Ice protection enterprise. Cabin sights are on. Thrust station is climbing. Altimeters will be set standard at transition altitude. ATC guy is still there, and if he's going to run away or not, hopefully not. Yeah, he's still there. Still haven't disconnected just yet. Or did he? No, he haven't. The frequency will be 124,550. I think it's 124,550. 124,555. Which will pre-select and standby, and we monitor both frequencies just in case. I see that my Vatsim client doesn't see that I'm monitoring two frequencies, but just to be on the correct side. And we have 80s, which is 132.5. 1325.
To tow. Visibility 9 kilometers. Sky conditions. Scattered at 4,000. Temperature 24, dew point 16, QNH 1010. Transition level 50, ILS approach runway 06. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Mike.
Okay, we know something, at least. There is somebody flying out there, but he seems to be far higher than I am. And there's, in fact, some traffic around as well. Yeah, I'm here. Good. Oh nice, I still have a landing here. That's a good one, right? I wanted to say we're saying goodbye to Florida, but yeah. At least I noticed that. That's the reason I'm climbing so slowly. And it was so freaking loud. it's better, right? It's climbing at 3,000 feet per minute instead of 2,000 something. Okay, we'll go and set standard quite early, so I can complete the climb checklist, which is completed. Next is cruise checklist, and I would like to start preparing for my 06 already, since it's a short flight and we expect to get some ATC very soon. Good. Once I have this open, let's go to LS06 in Havana. Audios radios. The frequencies would set automatically, but for some reason they don't in here. Oh, they do. I have LS 1.0.5. And the fan approach track will be 060. Minimums are set to 420. So I have all the frequencies I do need. Okay, so mass approach straight ahead to the right to Dana. Let's check the routing. Gander entry, hot offers 407, 410, vols 402. Then left, intercept and do down. We're climbing to 4,000 and it's 4,000 here. Flight level 40, which is quite low transition altitude. Good, and if there is an arrival here, I think we won't get any arrival. That's all from the south. There's one from Canoa, which is Canoa entry. And then Hotel Alpha 407. That's what we have set in the FMC. Does it have any number? Canoa arrival, nothing special. Entry 4 arrival. That's entry 4. So we can arrive to entry 4 arrival. There's somebody flying over me, or actually above me, and he is on the right and he's not that far. This guy is flying even something smaller than I do, and he is flying on, that's a Panam, so that's not smaller than. He's at flight level 290 or 300, and that's Boeing 732. That's an interesting one. See, already I can see the strobe lights. Just wonder what will be the closest approach, but since it's 737, it's gonna be way quicker than I am. But he's about 10 miles out from me. It's not too far. And we're both approaching the border already. And the last thing I would like to do, we go to VNAV and descent, which is set on the speeds we set before. Maybe I can try to call the guy in Havana and get some direct. And the guy over here is going to Cancun. to Mexico. Let's listen to the 80s once again.
Transition level 50. ILS approach runway 06. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Mike. Jose Marti International information, Mike. 2050 Zulu. Runway MU06. Wind 040 degrees 8 knots. 350 variable 080. Visibility 9 kilometers. Sky condition. Scattered at 4,000. Temperature 24. Dew point 16. QNH10.
That should be enough. 124,550. We should go to 124,550. Havana, buenas tardes, July 4 Hotel.
July 42 Hotel Havana, good afternoon, squawk 0355.
Okay, squawking 0355, climate flight level 320, inbound to Canoa. Buenas tardes, once again, July 4 Hotel.
Havana Center, very good afternoon. It's Clipper 7 Sierra Victor with flight level 300 to Canoa.
That's the go.
Clipper 7 Sierra Victor, good afternoon, radar contact flight level 300. July 42 Hotel, radar contact, stop climb with flight level 280 due traffic.
Stopping at 280, July 4 Hotel. 280, I set the alt hold, that was quite good.
Skylink 290, leaving Myers Space, rail service terminated, frequency approved, have a good day. So long. July 42 Hotel, clear entry for arrival. At our discretion, descend to flight level 170. Cross Canoa at 260 or below.
Okay, Powell discretion 170 to cross Canoa at 260 below and entry for arrival for Jedi 4 Hotel. Thank you very much. So Canoa at 260 below. So I go 260 in here, at or below, enter. 170 when ready. I can pre-select VNAV, so it will catch up on the Canoa. And entry 4, that's what we have in the FMC. Entry 4 runway 06. Siemka, siemka, dobry wieczór. ATC can be a little quieter or you can be a little louder. Yeah, that's a good one. I always have problems with setting all these volumes, but I go with -3. Havana Jedi 4 to tell for radio check, please.
Jedi 42 Hotel Havana, go ahead.
Just for the radio check,
I radio 5.
Radio 5 as well, thank you. Eventually we're gonna have some ATC as well, nicely. Thank you very much guys for coming. If you survived for me so far, leave me a like below the video and we should be starting descent very soon to cross this Canoa at 270 less, and then we're approaching to Havana, and landing in Havana is expected to be in about I would say 20 minutes maximum from now. So thank you very much for joining, and that's, as you know, maybe not a new project on 737 Aviation, because I have done it before. I used to fly some streams long time ago, but for I don't know why, I just abandoned that, and basically I have abandoned the channel a little, so let's say that we are trying to revive it nowadays. So thanks for joining me, and more things are coming soon. If you have any suggestions or questions, leave me a comment or ask me on the chat if you are still here. So we're landing at 06, which is 4,000 meters runway. We basically won't have to brake. I would like to vacate via probably Echo, then Apron 3, International Terminal, Domestic. I don't expect to go to domestic. And there is nothing really except that. Apron 1, Apron 4, I will see. Good. So back to map. And if I switch on the map here, you're gonna see the vertical profile. So she will start descending at here, at this point, to cross Canoa at 260 less. And here you can see that 737 is significantly faster than Honda Jet. I think I should start descending because this profile is showing that I should cross Canal below the point, but for some reason, you know, there's a turn here and everything. I don't want to be above. So let's go initially 2000 and then let's intercept back the VNAV. So speed to 50 on descent as planned.
Station calling Havana, I read you very low, 2x5, take it.
It's not me.
Yeah, Caribbean 19R45, I read you up 3x5, still very low. Now it's 5.
Good. Turning to the right. So to the left, to the right. And I think now we can reduce the vertical speed. I go with this slight descent of 500 feet. Since he gave me some descent.
Caribbean 19R45, you are clear to Havana via the Cuba 4 Charlie departure, runway 28, then a flight plan route. Climb and maintain flight level 360, squawk 1705.
Okay, let's do a checklist, cruise checklist, altimeter set, system checked, landing field elevation is 256, and is set. Engine test not required, altimeters are set. Next approach checklist, seat belts will be set, passenger briefing completed, cabin size not required, avionics are set. Landing data. So speed marks get from same, all on 11310.
Yeah, squawk 1705, 1705.
Gas message review, approach briefing completed, flaps will be take approach, so I'm holding flaps here.
Caribbean 1945, read back is correct, setup approved, both protected.
Flight plan, VNAV. It doesn't have this type
Read back
of
is
option
correct,
here.
setup is approved, Bowen ready for taxi.
That's okay. No, it's too loud even for me. The ATC is too loud for me, but still I'm fighting to set it up correctly. Let's go with -6 maybe.
Visa Jet 67 continue descending as follow discretion. Destination airport is uncontrolled. Radio service terminated.
Good. So now we should intercept the descent point. I don't know what's happening with this VNAV here. That's quite
Jedi 42 Hotel, contact Havana Terminal 120.3, good day.
120.3, gracias, adios, Jedi 42. Havana, buenas tardes, Jedi 42, entry 4, descending 170, information Mike, Honda Jet.
Jedi 42 Hotel Havana Terminal, hello sir. Ending flight level 050.
Descent 2050, Jedi 42.
November 62 Lima Whiskey Havana, enter on 133.7.
Yeah, we can go 270, 260. There's nobody in front of us anyway.
Switching with 133.7, number 6 to my whiskey, thanks.
Correct.
And the next frequency will be tower at 18.1. Okay, VNAV path, speed 270, almost. I don't want to overspeed a lot. We used to fly 268 if you wanted to save some time, but then you have to be very vigilant of the speed. And you don't want to go to the barber pole here. My bad, I shouldn't switch on the OBS option. So let's go back to entry, direct to entry. Yeah. OBS, it's like flying a VOR radio or something, but it's based on the FMS, on the GPS data. I don't know why Garmin does it, but it does, and we cannot do anything about it. We have VNAV pitch, that's interesting. Like to go vertical speeds. Say 1000 initially. Maybe a little less, 500. The VNAV path is here, so we still have some time to intercept the descent path. The approach ATC sounds like a robot. You mean the guy that is active right now? You know that Latin people, if they try to speak English, they sound a little bit different than even Spaniards back in Europe. Jedi 42, any speed restrictions for us?
Jedi 42 Hotel, sir, speed at your discretion.
Gracias. Good, almost there. You can tell me, guys, where are you from?
Delta 616 with
I
unit
know most
departure.
of you, and I know that some of you are Polish, or most of you are Polish, but
Delta
it's quite
616
interesting
center, Havana
if
terminal.
there is somebody that
Hello, sir.
doesn't
Radar
come from
contact
Poland.
continue
I saw the
climb
one
flight
guy
level
from UK before.
150.
Climbing flight level 150, Delta 660.
Good, almost there. What the hell are you going to do here? Hotel Alpha 807 walls, Hotel Alpha 101 walls again. No, we're not going to walls twice.
Vertical
Okay.
track.
Sounds more reasonable. Four 07, 10 volts. Yeah, and from volts we're gonna start the approach already. So I don't want to pay that high. Now it's better, 410. Volts, and then it's 410 again, which I want to remove. Now it should make sense. Oh yeah. So hotel alpha 410, then after volts. (407) 410 volts. Okay, that's I need to insert before. 5.1 volts. Insert before. Whiskey. Sorry, hotel alpha 410. 410. Doesn't make sense here. More or less. So let's go chart on this side. Approach our 06. 410 volts. And then 402, which makes sense. And on that side, I'd like to have the map. Good. They're pretty high, but that's not a big deal for Honda Jet. Basically, if I go idle and I go 3,500 per minute, it still goes like a brick and it's decelerating in this kind of descent. So losing altitude is not a problem for Honda Jet, not at all. From UK and from London, which is probably I'm gonna sin if I say it's UK, or you can leave my stream, right? So sorry for my not native English, guys. I hope you can understand something. See, I have 3,500 and I'm still losing speed. I'm still decelerating. If I set 4,000 per minute, I'm maintain 250.
For 250, sir, you are a little high for your approach. You request some vectors for descent?
Negative. It should be okay, Jedi 4 to tell.
Okay.
So in this scenario, if you would be in 737, basically with 4,000 feet per minute and idle, 737 would lose his wings somewhere here over the sea. But we should be okay. I can even go 5,000 or even more, or 6,000, and then we start accelerating. But we still have a speed brake, which will enable us to lose the speed quite efficiently, as you see. that wouldn't be a big pleasure for the passengers, I suppose, but you still can do that, right? See, I'm losing the speed with 6,000 feet per minute of descent rate. Okay, I can stall the speed brake. It's not as necessary. To level. Jedi 420 request for descent, please.
Jedi 42 Hotel Copicer, Sierra Islet approach, runway 06.
Okay, clear the last 06, Jedi 420, thank you. Can you confirm the QNH for me, please?
QNH 1010.
1010, thank you.
Delta 616 on touch Havana, interim 1.
1010.
Gain to 124,500, thanks for the speed.
It might be a bit high, but
Yeah.
keep it speed brake. I go speeds 180 as previous. That would not be a really stabilized approach, but still okay. Just regaining the profile. 060 on the heading. Speed brake is off, and we're back on profile, so we can go VNAV path. And now she'll decelerate nicely. Once we're on final, I can arm the approach. I cannot because I should have the nav source as localizer.
Jedi 42 Hotel on final, 1118.1.
18-1, gracias a Dios, Jedi 42. Flaps 1, flaps taking portion of flaps 1. Speed 140. Lights up captured, miss approach altitude, flight level 40. So that's very efficient plane, as you can see. Torre buenas tardes, Jedi 42, established LS 09. 06.
Yadi 42 Hotel Marti Tower. Good afternoon, good evening, sir. Wind 040 degrees, 08 knots, clear to land, runway 06.
Total 06, Jedi 42. Full flaps.
Marti Tower.
Final speed 113. Landing checklist. Landing gear down. Checklist. Why is on this side? Whatever. It's a mess now. This orange one shouldn't be here. So landing gear is down, speed brake is retracted. Flaps are landing gear, SPD is going to the approach autopilot adapter will be disengaged. Now it's okay, and I would like to have this one on this side good. And yes, it would be better to go to the hold. That's a good one. Of course, you don't want to be descending at 6,000 feet per minute with guys on board. They would probably already be scared to death. But yeah, holding would be a good option here. Good. 1000 autopilot off, fuel dampener off. And we try to do a second landing. Maybe this one will be a bit nicer than previous one.
500.
Stabilized.
$400.
It's a long
300.
runway compared to Key West.
Minimums.
Landing. On most
100.
approaches, if you're on the glide slope, you'll get 4 red puppies on display.
50. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Idle, touchdown, and yeah, nose will touch down. I need to do something with that joystick. And I haven't touched the brakes yet. There's nobody behind me, so I'm not going to expedite vacating something. If I leave the controls, it's just going instantly to the left. And it seems that we are off the runway on the left side for some reason. Maybe it's my setting, maybe not. Yeah, it was better, but then running off the runway to the left, it's not a good point, right? Can I vacate to here? Where the hell are we? Charts. Info. Yeah, I can go here. Flaps up. As briefed, I will ask the guy if I can take the stand number 3. I don't know if I vacated HA420.
Ready for to hotel, taxi to Terminal 3 via Eco Taxiway.
Well, taxi to Terminal 3 via Echo. Gracias, HA420.
Correct, sir.
Okay, guys, so welcome to Havana. Welcome to Cuba for the first time. And thanks for visiting the 737 Aviation. Again, if you like this kind of streams, leave me a like, and hopefully we can do some more in the near future. Or if you have any questions or suggestions, just leave me a comment below the video. I will try to answer them as soon as I have some time for it. As you know, I'm trying to answer all the questions asked, so don't hesitate to leave me some. Shutdown number 2. And we'll go to stand number 3, so it's at the very end next to Delta. Flight directors off. I mean, I don't need to switch them off, since once I switch off the battery, they will go off on the way. Is it stand number 3 or 4? This one. I think it's not the last one, it's almost the last one. Yeah, that's number 3. Oh, that's even 4. That one is 3. Seems like quite a pleasant afternoon here. Okay, I'm turning to the right. And we can just stop somewhere here. Parking brake set, shut down engine 1. I don't think we could get any ground power in the place like Havana, so I just stay with the avionics on. Landing checklist has been completed. After landing, signs on, off, anti-ice off, speed brake retracted, flaps up, trims set to green band. I go with trim 4 just to leave it in the correct position for the next flight. And shutdown parking brake set, wheel chocks inserted, engine anti-ice off, external power connected, or actually not connected, thrust levers cat off, cabin signs still off, oxygen supply off. Parking brake would be released once the chocks are in. Just wonder if I can switch the chocks in here. Same options. I think if I go with static elements to insert some chocks, no, it will not. Let's open the door and cargo. And battery off. That'll be the shutdown checklist completed. So guys, thank you very much once again. I hope to see you in the next streams, and I wish you a nice and pleasant day or evening or night, wherever you are watching from. Thanks guys, and I see you next time. Bye bye.